Uh-huh. So let's see. Okay, hitting go live. And then also kind of putting in the stream or telling people that we're doing this. Hello, person. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm hitting the share link here. So that way I can tell Facebook about this too. You are watching, two brewers here. We're watching the Holidays premiere. This is premiere number 4. My name is Eden Casteel of Eden Casteel Music Studio. And we have 4 more of these left after tonight. So I'm just telling Facebook about it right now. So that way they can see what's going on. All right. So tonight's video is called Santa Has a Tummy Ache. And it is by the writer Robin Dyer. We have the writer with us tonight. And here she is, Robin Dyer, ladies and gentlemen. Glad you are here.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. And where are you hailing from? Far off?
I am in Warwick.
Far off Warwick, Rhode Island. So far.
So far.
So far. And I'm down here in Wakefield, Rhode Island. And Robin and I meet online at least once a week. We've been working together for over a year. She used to come down here before the pandemic, but now we meet online. It's great. And she's got a great setup in her house for recording and playing. She dabbles in everything, right? Singing, piano, guitar. Left anything else out?
That's about it right now. Right now.
Right now. Yeah. She's a polymath, right? So there's a little bit of everything. And Robin first came to the studio to work on public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I had to do a presentation at a conference.
How did I rope you into Peacedale Hayride?
We started working on singing some, and you actually had another student convince me.
Really?
That it would be okay. Yes.
Who was that?
I can't remember her name.
All right. That's great. Thank you, student who convinced Robin. So yeah, Robin appeared at Peacedale Hayride, which was a country show that I did in September 2019 at Pump House in Peacedale, Rhode Island. And Robin sang a Joe Diffie song, may he rest in peace, called If the Devil Danced in Empty Pockets, right? And Joe Diffie passed from COVID early in the pandemic. But it was a great song, a real Texas swing song. We had a lot of fun with that. You had backup singers, like the other singers were your backup band. It was super fun. And since then, Robin has discovered this love of songwriting and this really great gift of it.
It kind of came out of COVID because I hadn't done any songwriting until then.
Mm-hmm. It was like, what are we going to do? Right. And you know lots of songs. You have a really great library in your head of song styles and lots of songs that you love. So it was maybe not that much of a leap for you to have to move into singing because you got such a library already. But how many total songs do you think you've written now?
I've got over 50.
50. Yeah. That pandemic hasn't been very long. You've written a lot. And she now has a database on Google that we refer to so we can keep track of her songs. Because Robin is now working on her first full-length album. So she's going to release that sometime in 2021. She's one of a few students I have who is working on a year-long project. I have one who's working on a one-woman cabaret show. So she's going to be writing that. I'm going to play for her. I'm going to produce it for her, and we will perform it either in a venue if they open up, or we'll do it as a live stream if they don't, and we'll record it. I have another student who is going to front a band for the first time, but he plays sax, he plays guitar, and he sings. He runs a pizza joint. So he's going to, he has a set list all ready to go. He's going to be doing covers, but he's got a band idea. And then I have Robin, who is writing original songs for her first album. And she may not sing on them, or she may sing on some of them, but we're also going to find some other singers to sing her work as well. So she's going to get to write to other people's voices in addition to her own. That's a unique set of skills. But that's what we do in my studio, is that each singer, 50, Daniel Chaka says, 50, that's a lot. Each singer gets to work to their strengths. So it's not that, well, I'm just going to do this gig, and if you want to come be part of it, come be part of it. It's more like, what do you want to do? What's your dream? And how can we get you there?
At one point, when we started talking about this year-long project, it was like I was thinking, if this isn't gonna go somewhere, why should I be doing it? So at least we have a goal now. We have a place to be going, and that's I need a goal.
Yes, I think pretty much everybody does. but a lot of times in lessons, it's just to kind of give you the technical skill for whatever goal you have outside of the lessons. But some people don't have access to places to perform on a regular basis, especially now in the pandemic. But even before the pandemic, I was hearing from lots of students about how, well, I auditioned for community theater, but there were 50 people going for my same part. Or what I hear more often is, well, I'm 45, but they chose a 25-year-old to play a 65-year-old. So you lose out on these parts. And then there's nothing for months and months and months. Well, I could do karaoke at the bar, or I could try out for a local, singing competition or something at a theater sometimes, or an open mic. They have open mic once a month. I just have to wait in line for 3 hours, and then I get an open mic. Guys, there's so much more out there. And Robin is an example of what you can do. And Jordan and Eliza and pretty much everybody on the Holidays album is an example of what you can do. So we create our own opportunities here, and the opportunities are suited to a T to the performers and the singers and the writers. That's you. Mm-hmm. So I'm thrilled with what you've done here. And so your song you wrote, Santa Has a Tummy Ache. Tell us how you came up with that title.
I had written another Christmas song first, and then for some reason I had curiosity of how much Santa ate on Christmas Eve and how much milk. So I actually did comp sheets for, because I'm a civil engineer, I did calculations for it. And with my own writing out the assumptions, just like I would do at work, and figuring out how much he would have eaten and how much it would associate to, how many truckloads and how many Olympic-sized swimming pools full of milk it would be. And I sent Eden the spreadsheet, and she's like, "That's a song. Go write it."
Yeah, it was really fun. People think that, well, if you have a more analytical brain, you can't write songs. Yes, you can. It's just you come at them from a different angle. And you might need somebody to kind of help facilitate, which I feel I do for you and some other singers in the studio. And I give you a little framework for the thoughts that you have and some of the lyrics that you have. So, but I thought it was screamingly funny that you tried to analyze how many milk and cookies Santa eats on Christmas Eve. And that's a great song. And
it's pretty bad when you're doing the density of cookies. Trying to the specific weight of a cookie,
Great. I mean, next we got to do Valentine's candy.
Oh, good.
Like the weight of a shamrock and an Easter egg with certain kinds of candy inside. We could analyze all of those, different chemicals that they make when they're doing like colored Easter eggs. I see a bright future here. So, the result of this is Santa Has a Tummy Ache, which is on the album Holidays, which is 8 songs written by me and my students of Eden Casteel Music Studio. It is available at bandcamp.com, and it's right down there. You can see right there, edencasteelmusicstudio.bandcamp.com, or just go to my website, edencasteel.com, and you can buy a copy of the single, or you can buy the entire album. Single is $2. The entire album is $8. I mean, come on. It's so cheap. And this season, especially when we're trying to find something that's unique and different, and that we're not giving money to the big, conglomerate people who show up with the vans and deliver stuff to your house, give them a gift of music, give them a gift of original music. So I think this is a decent Christmas gift. So this is Santa Has a Tummy Ache, written by Robin Dyer with music by me. And when you wrote it, I thought, you're asking the question like, well, how many cookies does he eat and how much do they weigh? I thought, who would ask that? A civil engineer would, but so would a child, right? A kid would ask that question like to avoid going to bed at night. Mom, one more thing. How many cookies? Yeah. What do you want? Right. So we started talking about, well, maybe we should have a kid sing this. And then we started looking around for a kid. It was kind of tough to find a kid. You asked some, right? Mm-hmm. And what do you think they turned you down? It's just wasn't their bag?
I think it was they were nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when, kids, we think they're naturally gregarious and they'll do anything, but having to sit here and record stuff and to follow a rhythm and everything can be a little bit daunting. So I asked a little girl I know who lives in New York City. Her first initial is O, and she's a relation of mine. She's 7 years old. So I sent the song to her parents, and her parents are in the music business. So I said, do you think that they would be interested, or O would be interested in this? And so they played it for her, and I did a demo track so they could tell how it went. And she really liked it. So they worked with her over a period of about 2 weeks, and they got her recording, and it's really good. So I'm glad that it got to be a family affair for somebody in my family. I'm really glad that you got somebody who did your lyrics so well. I think it turned out really well. Oh, Dan says the weight of an Oreo should be the baseline. Double stuff or single? I don't like double stuff. I like traditional Oreos. I prefer the cookie to the stuff. That is my thing.
Gotta have the right balance.
Yeah. To me, it's like it's just too sugary, the other stuff. Okay, so I think it's time for us to premiere the video of Santa Has a Tummy Ache. So I'm going to get this up in here on my Zoom. I'm going back here to the beginning. Are you ready, Robin?
I'm ready.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere of Santa Has a Tummy Ache. Music and lyrics by R. Dyer, Eden Casteel, sung by O. Cowie.
Obsessing over Santa Claus is tragic. My family says don't concern yourself. I say deal with it, for I knew he's magic. After all, he is a 1750-year-old elf. But Santa, I am a bit worried. For him, I have true concern. 'Cause Santa eats foods that are too high in fat. And how he eats so much of them is tough to discern. Does Santa have a tummy ache every Christmas day from eating his favorite treats? The chimney's getting smaller or Santa's getting bigger. Santa needs to burn more calories than he eats. I'm sure Rudolph could spare a few carrots. I made a list, I added up the quantities. So many treats would make my belly moan. Each Christmas Eve, he drinks 3.5 million gallons of milk and eats 3/4 ton of cookies. Wow. Each Christmas Eve, his belly should stay home. Let's help Santa's BMI get better. Don't leave milk and cookies this year. Just text him emojis and thank yous instead. It's a low-cal way to send Christmas cheer every year. Does Santa have a tummy ache every Christmas day from eating his favorite treats? The reindeer hate to pull him, the sleigh's developed cracks. Santa needs to burn more calories than he eats. Does Santa have a tummy ache? No doubt, that's for sure. So keep your milk and cookies on your shelves. If Santa keeps eating, his demise will be assured. And then we'll have to ho-ho-ho ourselves. And then we'll have to ho-ho-ho ourselves. Is this song gonna get me put on the naughty list?
That was funny.
She's adorable.
She's adorable. The artwork is by you.
Yes.
Yes. You did all
I was stressed out one day and I started scribbling and I sent the first one to you. And I think you thought I pulled it off online. And then I sent the second one saying I'm just scribbling because I'm stressed out. Mm-hmm. And then you started sending requests.
Yeah. So I think I need this and I need this and I need this. And then we realized we were telling a story. I think it was your video that I realized. At first I thought this album was going to be all audio because we did another album in June called 6 Feet from Stardom. It was all audio. It's on SoundCloud right now. You can also get it through my website. 13 songs by 13 different studio singers. So I thought when we did this one, oh, we'll just release an album. Everybody will listen to it. It'll be fine. We'll focus on the audio. But then you started sending me drawings. I thought, oh, maybe we could make a lyrics video. And that way, we showcase the fact that they're original lyrics, but then you had original artwork to go with it. So we thought, well, I have to make a video of that. But then if we're going to do that one, we should probably do
extra work.
That's why we're having a week of video premieres, ladies and gentlemen, because we have videos for every single song on this album, and they're important. So each one of you has written a really great song. Dan says, instant classic. Love the illustrations. Thanks, Dan. So yeah, I think it really is. And the lyrics and a chord sheet is available. So if you know a little kid who wants to sing Santa Has a Tummy Ache, it is available to you. We can get you a copy. There's a few on there that I hope will become kind of perennial. And I think you have found a niche, Robin, that didn't exist for like Santa dystopia. It's a unique category.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. And I can't wait to see what you do next. So you're working on this album. Are there any, and I know you were working on getting your top 10 songs.
Right.
So that's what we're working on now. Is there anything in particular that is coming to the top of the list?
Thoughts.
The
song Thoughts is up there as one for me. And then I've got a bunch for other people. So
the one I really like is what we say, dishes aren't sexy.
Oh, drainage design ain't sexy.
Drainage design ain't sexy.
We have a couple of versions of it.
Yeah, I may have to borrow that for a show I'm doing. Borrow that. We also, Robin has worked with another songwriter based in Massachusetts named Hallie Elwell. So one of the things that we do in the studio is if the student is working on something and I don't know enough about it, or I think they benefit, excuse me, we bring in somebody else. So sometimes that's a master class. So like we brought in Mark Cutler to help us all with some songwriting. We had several different songwriting master classes. We've had different master classes in the studio for like body work, yoga. We've had people come in to talk about performance practice like Tish Adams. And you were over the summer, came to my backyard and Tish coached like 3 times and you sang.
Right. And I get to perform one of the originals there as well.
That's right. You did. So that was the first time we realized, oh, Robin's got a lot of originals. And yeah. And then it's just the act of getting up there and performing. So you get to practice all these different skills. And so with Hallie, she worked with you and me on just song structure and what to listen for as far as a hook and everything. For this one, I figured if a child was going to sing it, it would have to be something that had a really strong beat and an easy range for a child to sing. And I was inspired by Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Maybe it's because it was the fall. I don't know. But I just thought I was inspired by Harry Von Tilzer and this kind of waltzy rhythm. So it was mixed by Robert Cowie in New York, who is a relation to O. And it was mastered by Skylar Batts of Studio 121 here in Rhode Island. So was there any part of this project that made you nervous? You were kind of trepidatious about?
I always get nervous singing. So doing my small part for the others for Seasons Change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. We did have you sing on that, and you recorded all of that remotely.
Yes.
So we haven't actually met in person in quite a while.
Since summer when we did the show. Actually, since we did Keith Munslow.
That's right. Since that improv on my back deck. So this entire group only met together once in October with masks on to work on music improv with our friend Keith Munslow from Providence, from Empire Review, and keithmunslow.com. He's fantastic. So that was the last time I saw you in person, but you do everything online and you do it really well. We use technology with you. So you've got your headphones, mic.
I've got Reaper for my recordings and
really using them. And then we also just started using Soundtrap. Right. So during your lessons, we share screen and we actually create loops together and accompaniments. And I owe you one actually for Friday's lesson. So that way you can write to it. So sometimes Robin sends lyrics and then I create something, or sometimes I send her music and she creates to that. So she's just practicing the skill of songwriting in a lot of different ways. It's great. It's really great. Mm-hmm. So please hit subscribe and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, so that way you can be sure to get notified when we go live. We will be going live every night through Wednesday with 4 more premiere videos. And you can also buy the album Holidays. It's available at bandcamp.com. It's Eden Casteel Music Studio.bandcamp.com, or you can go through my website, edencasteel.com. If you'd like to work with me, you can see I work with really great people. And if you would like to co-write with Robin and me and try your hand at it, we do have some other songwriting projects and recording projects coming up in 2021. We would love to perform some of these live at some point, and when it's safe to do so, we will. But until then, there's still plenty that you can do online. There's still a lot of creativity you can have online. And for Robin, I think actually being in a pandemic really bolstered your creativity.
It brought it out.
It really did. So that's, I could call that kind of a silver lining of this experience.
My life before that was too busy because not only am I a civil engineer, but I also have a massage business, and I'm a martial arts instructor. So my life was just too damn busy to be writing songs.
And now it's not.
No, it's not.
It's going to be really interesting in a year. If next December, if I'm trying to put together like Holidays Volume 2, and if people say, I'm just too busy now.
I can't go back to that.
Yeah.
Personally, I need the time to be creative again. And I haven't for years. I haven't taken it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I never would have figured out recording, live streaming, all of these skills that I'm doing if this hadn't happened. I would have been doing the same things I had done a year ago, I'm pretty sure. They weren't bad things, but I'm so glad actually that I had this opportunity to try these new things and to try them with all of you. It's been really a blessing, and I get to keep that going forward. So the one thing I would like is to be able to see you guys in person occasionally. That would be nice. And I miss having people in my living room on Friday nights. Happy hours is what we call them. It's our rehearsal party. And we would do that before we'd have a showcase. But when we don't have a pandemic anymore and we have a vaccine, those happy hours are recording sessions. And you get to come to my house and record on a Friday night. And all of you bring me lots of food. And then we'll just set up the microphones and we will record harmonies. How fun is that?
It's fun, and it's really good to getting people together, and you become one unit pretty much. Because we were doing, like when we were doing Peacedale Hayride, it got everybody together and got to know each other better, and so we could work together better.
Yeah. I look forward to that happening again. I'm glad it's happening in the way it is for recording. And I think it's going to be like, sometimes we'll do recordings, and sometimes those recordings lead to a live performance to promote a recording. So I think it's another avenue. And so if you haven't thought about that for yourself and you're watching and you're thinking, I could never do that. Pretty much everybody who's on the album thought they could never do that a year ago, including me. And you do it. We will help you figure it out. And it's a way that you can be creative in a pandemic and out of a pandemic. And so if you've been wondering, what can I do with my voice? This is something you can do, and you can do it to a high level, and it can make you really, really happy. And not just you, but also everybody who hears you. So that's what we do at my studio. That's what Robin has done with Santa Has a Tummyache. I know every word of your song. I will be singing it every year. So, and I bet Little O will as well. I bet that sucker is going to be seen at a talent show somewhere in New York City next year. That song is going to have a life. And that's the best gift of all, when they keep on going past us. So thank you all so much for tuning in tonight to Holidays, this video premiere. The video will be on my website, edencasteel.com. It'll be here on YouTube. Please go pick up the album, Eden Casteel Music Studio.bandcamp.com. Thank you so much, Robin, for coming by.
Thank you.
Tomorrow night, we'll have Christy Cooper debuting Snow Song. So we will see you then. Good night.